On today's primetime local news, the city provides an update on their plans with COVID-19.
The city of Lloydminster, in its unique geography, is identifying the impacts and assessing the impacts of this declaration on the city of Lloydminster.
And the local SPCA has to close their doors due to the virus.
Just to keeping the animals safe in the spectrum of, if the staff can't be here because they're sick, then the animals aren't getting the proper care that they need.
Plus, one local school is getting younger students involved in coding.
The purpose of that one is to help students make connection between what they're learning in math.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The province of Alberta declared a public health emergency yesterday, and the city of Lloydminster is still getting the details on how this will impact the border city. Jace Mackey has a COVID-19 update from the city.
From that perspective, we want to look after each other. We want to ensure that you check in on your neighbors, friends, and family. This is a great time to pick up the phone, send a text or an email to someone you haven't chatted with lately for their mental health, to ensure that they're doing all right and you are doing all right.
Mayor Gerald Albers addressed the city last night in a video posted online.
Currently, we are taking steps at the city to ensure the protection for people in our community. So as you may be aware, we have canceled several events and we've closed some facilities to the public to ensure your health and safety paramount for each and every one of us in our community and surrounding area.
Mayor Albers encourages residents to look out for each other during this stressful time.
If you're headed to the grocery store, please think about your neighbors, check with them and see if they need any supplies while you're going out. Again, social distancing is very important. We recommend, as it's been recommended by the health authorities, that 2 meters separation is maintained.
The manager of emergency management for the city of Lloydminster also gave a briefing on COVID-19 today. The city is still working to see how the public health emergency in Alberta will impact the city.
The city is aware of the declaration of a public health emergency by the province of Alberta on March 17th. The city of Lloydminster, in its unique geography, is identifying the impacts and assessing the impacts of this declaration on the city of Lloydminster and working to reiterate the public health measures put in by both provinces.
The city has closed all recreation and cultural centers as of Sunday, but employees are still on the job.
The city of Lloydminster recreational staff are still at work currently as scheduled. They have been reassigned and are doing other duties to keep busy within the facilities. There is lots of work to do when shutting those down and suspending public access, so they are busy as of right now.
With many businesses and organizations closed, the city is working to help the less fortunate.
The city of Lloydminster and its management team are working with all social supports in the community to offer assistance and to find how they are doing, as well as any residents that are looking for social supports. We are trying to put as much information as we can on the City of Lloydminster website, and we are encouraging all residents, if they have any questions about what's going on in the community, to visit that website and portal.
The RCMP detachment will stay open to the public for the time being.
We've been working with our Lloydminster RCMP, who are doing a great job in assessing the risk of the public and bringing them into our RCMP building. As of right now, we do still allow access to the building, as well as all the other communities, but it is limited and there is some requirements to phone in ahead of time just to reduce the numbers. We still encourage residents at this time to go outside and enjoy hopefully the spring weather that we'll be receiving soon. Just keep in mind to follow also social distancing protocols as advertised by both of our health authorities.
The city will be providing daily updates on the COVID-19 situation, and for the latest information, you can visit lloydminster.ca/COVID-19. Jace Mackey, Primetime Local News.
The Lloydminster District SPCA has announced they will be closing their shelter to the public starting on Friday. The decision comes amid the COVID-19 pandemic to keep the staff, volunteers, and animals safe. Though the access will be closed to the public, they are available through phone calls and email.
We're still available here throughout the day. We're just limiting that traffic. I mean, we anticipate, since some of the recreational stuff has been canceled for the next month. We expected a little bit more of a incline here at the shelter as well for people to come for something to do. And just for the fact of the matter is that, we just didn't want our staff at risk as well.
While the animals are not affected by the virus, the staff need to ensure they are healthy to be able to take care of the animals at the SPCA.
It doesn't affect the animals, obviously, but it's just them being, surfaces everywhere are being touched, so kind of thing. So that's what we are trying to limit here. But yeah, it's just to keeping the animals safe in the spectrum of, if the staff can't be here because they're sick, then the animals aren't getting the proper care that they need.
If you need to book an appointment to adopt or bring in a stray animal, call the Lloyd-Minster District SPCA. With technology now being introduced earlier in schools, kids have the chance to learn skills such as coding at a younger age. Ahead of the school closures, I headed down to École St. Thomas to learn more about their coding program in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
École St. Thomas offers different coding programs to students to help them learn real-life skills.
To help students make connection between what they're learning in math and their real life. So we start in December, and we have been working on math, on Scratch program and Python program. So they have already mastered Scratch. They have been building their own games. They did amazing project on that program.
The program teaches many varieties of coding for students who have different interests.
We're going over like Scratch and like coding and Python, like different games and like stuff we can create with those coding websites.
The school also offers a coding program that is focused on girls.
Girls Who Code program is a perfect example of a program where we can help close the gender gap in technology by teaching girls computer science, bravery, and sisterhood.
The Girls Who Code program wants girls to expand their horizons and try out new skills they may not know they're interested in.
I thought it would be a cool club to join, and then you get to make things and program things, and there's just so many possibilities with coding, how you can make animations to apps, and really you can just do whatever you want.
Getting more girls involved in the program could be one way more girls get into technology trades.
The goal is to help them get in the career which are traditionally reserved for boys, like computer science, engineer science, and all those kinds. So that's what this program is designed for.
For one student, her teacher taught her that there's no limits for what she can do.
A lot of it is using your imagination, where pretty much you can really do whatever you want, and how there isn't any limit to what you can do with coding, and how just like be unique and use your passion inside your coding.
That's it for this week's Beyond the Classroom.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College. Apply today to environmental sciences. Study soils, plants, ecosystems, wildlife, and more.
Now to our Connor Chan with the weather.
Thanks very much, Jasmine. Take a look at your current temperature right now. Getting a little cloudier right now with that -8 degrees right now, with those winds coming in from the south at 9 kilometers an hour. So it feels a little bit more like -12. As we take a look at some temperatures right now in our region here, -7 out in Vermilion, -8 for Vegreville, -4 out in Edmonton, -6 for St. Paul, -5s out in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, Lac La Biche, and Pierceland, -7 down south in both Provost and Macklin, -9 in Maidstone and North Battleford as well, -7 for Meadow Lake, -10 for Green Lake, and -9 out in Isla Crosse. And take a look at the satellite radar map right now. We are getting a little bit of cloud coverage again, as we saw yesterday, mostly from that Edmonton side there on the far west. We will see a bit of cloud coverage over the next maybe few 24 hours or so. But of course, as many of us are trying to self-isolate and stay healthy, it is going to be some nice weather if you have a chance to go outside and just get some fresh air. As we take a look at some temperatures for tomorrow, though, however, -9 for us here in Lloydminster, -8 out in Vermilion, -9 for Marwayne and Vegreville, -6 -6s out in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and Pierceland. -7 for Edmonton, -6 in both Provost and Macklin. Now, as I switch sides here quickly, -9 currently right now in North Battleford with some sunshine, with -21 degrees overnight. It'll get fairly colder as we get into the daytime tomorrow, so their daytime high will be -9. Cold Lake overnight, -18 degrees, and -6 tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and a bit of cloud coverage. And for us here in Lloydminster, we are going to see a bit of clouds overnight, and then tomorrow we will have another cold morning, and then it will get to -9 for our daytime high. So here's a look at your next 3 days. -6 on Friday with clear skies there as we start to warm up heading into the weekend. The wind chill, though, will feel a little bit more like -21 with the low there of -16. -2 on Saturday as we start off that weekend with no snow as we haven't seen for a very, very long time there. The low there of -16. We will see that wind chill, though, go to around -17, though, so nothing too crazy as we'll have a bit more of a calmer weekend than previous. Then that's a first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Over the past few days, we have seen the government implementing a lot of more measures into the country, really, to stop this and try and limit the spread. And I know you said you had some facts of what they were implementing today.
Yeah, of course, in the earlier package, of course, the government, of course, announced the $82 billion aid package, and just some numbers for those that are curious. You know, $300 for the Canada Child Benefit increased to $300, excuse me, and then of course $900 bi-weekly for those without sick leave, you know, of course, for people who have to take time off for who have kids that are sick. And of course, $5 billion is going to be into workers without EI. And of course, there's a lot of people that are going to be filing EI because there, of course, has been all those layoffs. And of course, mortgage payments deferrals. Of course, tax season is being pushed pushed to August now. And then, of course, the income tax deadline pushed to June 1st. So, you know, that's huge, you know, especially in times like this, you know, and our country needs to kind of, you know, band together. And of course, the government's doing the right thing, giving those services to the people that really need it right now.
Yeah, I have to agree. And then with the Alberta and Saskatchewan government both doing this state of emergency and limiting the amount of people that are gathering and really enforcing social distancing, I think that's really important.
I mean, we're kind of social distancing. We're trying our best to social distance at this time right now.
So now we are going to be taking a look at your pet pictures. So thank you to everyone who did submit. And we will be giving away a Pet Pad gift card later on in the week.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Well, these are challenging times we're going through, and it's very scary if you happen to be a woman who is pregnant or expecting, and even for moms that have children. So many questions going around, and I'm so happy to be joined today by Amanda Pree. Amanda is the Mama Coach Lloydminster. Amanda, you're also a registered nurse and a lactation consultant, so you kind of are getting questions, I understand, from all sorts of people just in regards to this situation. Is that the fact that people are just wondering what to do on all sorts of topics?
Yes, for sure. Especially when it comes to pregnancy and breastfeeding. We know that, you know, when a mom is pregnant, she is at a higher risk for contracting viruses or illnesses just because her immune system changes. So people are concerned about whether or not they need to be, you know, more concerned with this virus. From what we've been seeing so far with the evidence is showing that pregnant women aren't at an increased risk with COVID-19 as compared to other illnesses like viruses in the same family as COVID-19, like SARS and H1N1, where moms were at a higher risk when they were pregnant.
Sorry, Amanda, I'm going to get you to give some advice here, but before we go any further, you want to just cite the sources of where the information is coming from so people are aware where you're getting the information?
Absolutely. So this information is from studies in China and the UK from credible sources, from the CDC and the WHO. Yeah, so that's where the sources are coming from.
Okay, and the concerns that are coming in regards to, let's start with moms who are currently breastfeeding. What's your advice to them, and what have you learned so far, Amanda?
So far, you do not need to stop breastfeeding your baby. So the concern is whether this virus can be transmitted through breast milk. With the studies that they've done so far, we do not believe that it is spread through breast milk. So moms can continue to breastfeed their baby. Now, if mom is showing signs of illness or is tested positive for COVID-19, it is important that she doesn't pass this virus through respiratory droplets to her baby. So she needs to take some extra precautions while breastfeeding. And what that looks like is washing her hands in warm soapy water for about 20 seconds. If she is coughing and sneezing, to make sure that she's doing it into her elbow, possibly changing her clothes before she feeds that baby. As well as, washing her hands thoroughly before feeding baby and after, wearing a mask if she has a mask at home to protect baby from droplets. And if mom is really ill at home, it might be possible for her to express breast milk or pump. Of course, sterilizing, all pump parts and bottles appropriately, and having someone else in the family feed the baby via bottle.
And now, Amanda, what about for those moms that are expecting? I mean, there's a lot of stress already happening because of the COVID-19 situation. And then if you're expecting a baby on top of that, there has to be all kinds of issues that pregnant moms could be dealing with at this point. So what's your take on that?
For sure. So, pregnancy alone is anxiety provoking for new mamas. And just throw a global pandemic on top of that, and it's crazy. So if you're needing mental health support, please reach out. As well, taking those extra precautions, doing the social distancing, only going out if you absolutely need to, cleaning surfaces frequently in your house, making sure that you're resting, making sure that you're taking care of yourself. Is very, very important, and possibly limiting, all visitors, especially if you are bringing a new baby home, FaceTime, talk on the phone, do those kind of things.
And you mentioned, Amanda, too, that you are a resource, that you're providing some courses online as well and virtually if people are interested.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm doing prenatal classes private and group via virtual, where you can just stay at home. You can learn everything you need to know about COVID-19 in pregnancy, postpartum, and bringing your baby.
All right, well, thank you so much, Amanda. We'll be back with you right away here in a few minutes in the newscast as well to learn more about children now that they're home from school and what to do. Again, Amanda Pree, the Mama Coach Lloydminster, thanks for joining us, and we'll be right back to chat with you some more, Amanda.
Thanks, Stacey.
We're back with Amanda Pree, the Mama Coach Lloydminster. Amanda is also a registered nurse and a lactation consultant. Amanda, we were talking before in regards to pregnant, expecting women and also women who are breastfeeding, but we're going to switch gears a little bit now, talking about children who are home. Of course, the schools are out. A lot of people have little ones at home, and in some cases multiple little ones. And not only is it what you do with their time, how to keep them healthy, but how do you talk to them about COVID-19 and what's happening in the world as well. So a lot of stuff to cover. Let's maybe talk first, Amanda, about what you would advise parents to tell kids and explain to them how about what's going on now.
So, like, what I've done with my own kids is just providing lots of reassurance. I mean, their routine has drastically changed overnight, right? Like, they were going to school, they were going to daycare, now they're at home full time. And that looks different, right? So they're not learning, sometimes routine has gone out the window. So for the most part, I think we need to try and maintain some sort of daily routine to keep our kids occupied, for sure. Another thing is I've used it as a teaching opportunity about hand washing. So teaching them about the importance of washing their hands with warm soapy water for that 20 seconds, we're making fun songs out of it. Another thing we're doing is playing Catch That Germ. So we have some Lysol wipes, and if someone's coughing or sneezing or whatever, we watch them go wash their hands. And if they're touching light switch, they're touching the wall, we chase them with a Lysol wipe and we wipe all those surfaces down. So we're making it kind of fun. Another important thing to do is to remind them that the doctors and the researchers are working really hard to find out more about this virus and how to keep the people safe in the world. Another thing to do is kind of to watch your kids for signs of anxiety. So are they cranky? Are they not sleeping well? Are they seeming more distracted with everything? Those are kind of signs that maybe, you might want to reach out to a healthcare provider or someone who provides mental health support. I know with my own daughter, I kind of have talked about the coronavirus. They have seen us watching the news. They've heard me and my husband talking about it, so they know, like, that's all we're talking about, right? So limiting the media, watching what sources they're watching. I know there's lots out on YouTube right now, so I'm trying to limit my kids from watching that as well, because there's so much information, but definitely try to nip those rumors and misinformation, so that they're getting the appropriate information, and just let them know, reassure them that, you're gonna try and keep them safe, and you're cleaning the house, and they can help you with that. Do things to kind of keep them busy. Like today we set up a bunch of cups and we're throwing socks. That's our bowling game, right? So finding kind of fun, new, unique things to do. I don't know how many times a day I can rebuild a fort, but we're doing that as well. And then another thing is finding credible resources for this information, the WHO, the CDC, Alberta Health Services, as well as SAS Health Authority, just staying up to date on the information as things are changing, quickly. Another thing is, my daughter, they went to bed the other night, and I just wanted to see how they were feeling about it, checking in on their mental health. And she had said, Mommy, if I get sick, she said, I don't want to be alone in a room, and that's something I had talked about with them, what it might look like if we had to self-isolate. We'd have a bedroom and a bathroom for you to use, right? So then I really kind of had to take a step back and just reassure her that everything was going to be okay and we wouldn't completely isolate her.
And how do you deal with kids now, especially because I know they still want to see their friends, and we talk about social distancing. So what is your advice in regards to that, Amanda?
Yeah, so no play dates. Social distancing doesn't mean that you can drop your kids off at someone else's house. Use this time to spend with your kids. It's very, very important. But, make those phone dates, those play dates for your kids. They can keep in touch, email, those sorts of things. Right now, my kids are watching their friends for Red Deer. They have a YouTube channel. Every morning they're checking in to see what new things they're doing, so it's kind of, it's neat that we have technology to help us with
that. I guess that is the bonus about technology at this time, Amanda. And speaking of technology, we talked about it a little bit before, but just in regards to some of the courses that you offer, you're now doing some stuff online and virtually to help new moms. So can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I'm providing virtual visits from home, so they don't even have to leave their house to see me. So we just check in. I can do sleep plans from home. Virtual prenatal classes, whether private or group, as well as possibly a CPR virtual class.
Okay, and they can just reach out to you on your Facebook page through social media or Instagram at the Mama Coach Lloydminster. Is that the best way to do it?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, Amanda, we thank you so much. These are really trying times, and it's nice to have advice, because people are, in some cases don't even really quite know where to go. So we so appreciate you taking your time today to talk to us and help educate us on some of the things that we should be doing with our kids and for expectant moms. So thank you so much, Amanda.
Thanks for having me.